even though you're able to see the front, top, and right side views that I constructed for this exercise, the focus of this video is actually to help you with the oblique cabinet sketch that is required for this exercise. Now, um, almost always we do isometric sketches if we do anything in this area here. For this particular assignment, I thought it was appropriate to do an oblique cabinet sketch, since that's what the book actually gave us, was an oblique cabinet sketch. So oblique drawings have the advantage over isometric that if you have a front view like this, then the circles in the oblique cabinet sketch will actually be drawn as circles. And that's probably one of the main advantages. Is more of an advantage if you're drawing by hand, of course, but just to show you the technique, I want to do it here in AutoCAD. Now, I want to do a cabinet projection, oblique cabinet projection, which means that our receding lines will recede at half the true distance. And if we were to do it at full scale, the receding lines, then it would be called an oblique cavalier sketch. So we're going to work on that now. Also, you can choose, I think, any angle probably between 30 and 60 degrees for your receding lines, but always draw them at 45, and I think that is pretty much standard practice. So the way you do the cabinet sketches, you want to start off at the very front edge of the object, which would be these surfaces right here. And that's what we want to start on. So what I'll do is I will just actually copy the front view and place it right here. Okay, and then I'm going to trim away different things that I don't need. Basically, I want to get rid of everything that's not on the very front edge, because, like I said, that's what we want to focus on. So these items that I just drew are the only ones that are actually on the front edge. Okay, it's this and this. Okay. So now, as I said, we want to do a cabinet oblique sketch. So we want to go back half the distance. Our receding lines need to be half the distance of true scale. So let me check the depth of that line here. I'll use the properties palette for that. And that length is 6. Okay. So let me draw a line at a 45-degree angle. You'll want to make sure that you have your polar snap turned on an appropriate setting for this. So I'm going to turn mine on. For some reason, I always like to keep my increment angle on 15 unless there's a reason not to. So from here, I want to draw a line that's 3. From here, I want to draw a line that's 3, and again in the 45-degree direction. And from here as well. Here, and then from here. Now you can see that we also need to do from this area right here. Okay. Now from this edge, this corner right here, the line should go down. Well, this length is 28. Since we're doing half of that, it would be 14. So for some reason that does not look. Yeah, I drew that at the wrong angle. It needs to be 45. You got to be careful. Okay, so I think what I want to do now is to draw a line from here to here, and then copy this arc. So I'll do CP enter, and then select that arc, enter, and then I will copy from endpoint to endpoint. Make sure you have your snaps turned on, and then I will draw a line directly to the right, and I'll actually draw it beyond this arc and then trim off what I don't need to make sure that my line stays at the correct orientation. Okay, and let me go in and add these circles. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do just temporarily so I can take it. No, this is fine. This is fine. I want to just copy those circles, CP enter, And then from the end point of this arc, I want to snap to the end point of that arc. So we'll actually place those circles in the correct position. Alright, so I think I can draw a line from here to here at this point. Okay, so now we have worked down to our next elevation, which is here. So you can tell that is this surface. Okay. And again, I just want to copy the front view and then trim away everything that's not on that surface. I'm going to include this area here. Oh. Let me erase that. You have to be careful where you're trimming, or you'll get the wrong thing. So we should see that whole circle, I believe. And just so we don't have to overlay lines on top of one another, we'll get rid of that. Now let's move that into position and see how that looks. Okay, and that looks good. Alright, so moving right along. Okay, so from this point, we need to draw a line, the distance basically from here to here. Okay, so let's take a measurement. DI, enter. Let me measure from this point to this point. Oop, and I totally missed the distance. Let me scroll up. That is 97. Okay, now this is not a receding line. We're going to draw this from left to right, so this goes whatever distance it should be. And I think from that point, where should we go from here? I think we're actually going to have to do some trimming here. And I'm thinking it would be easier if let me copy these two lines here. Okay, I'm just using this to locate a point. Okay, which is right here. All right, so I can tell that a line goes from here to here, and from here to here. So now I can actually erase those two lines. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this first video, and we will pick up and hopefully finish in video 2.